Hello, and welcome to this video about cylinders. In this video, we will explore how to find the volume and surface area of any cylinder. Let's learn about cylinders. Cylinders are one of the most common three-dimensional shapes that we see around us. Most cans of food and drink cans are shaped like a cylinder. Batteries are another example of a cylinder-shaped item that we see commonly. Take a look around you. Can you see any cylindrical shapes? As you can see, all these objects have a circular top and bottom and a curved surface. A cylinder is a three-dimensional figure with two circular bases that are parallel to each other and are joined by a curved surface. The perpendicular distance that connects the bases of the cylinder is the height. The axis is the line that extends through the centers of the circular bases. A cylinder where the axis is perpendicular to the bases is called a right cylinder. A cylinder where the axis is not perpendicular to the bases is called an oblique cylinder. Let's recall what volume and surface area of a three-dimensional figure are and how we go about finding them. The volume of a three-dimensional figure is the amount of liquid it can hold, and it is measured in cubic units. The surface area of a three-dimensional figure is the total area that the surface of the figure covers and is measured in square units. The formula for the volume, V, and surface area, SA, of a cylinder are shown. To calculate the volume and surface area of any cylinder, we need the radius and the height of the cylinder. Do you remember the formula for the area of a circle? The formula for the area of a circle is A equals pi r squared. It is no surprise that the formula appears in both the volume and surface area formulas for a cylinder, since the bases of a cylinder are circles. Very much like other three-dimensional figures, the volume of a cylinder is the area of its circular base multiplied by the height. So V is equal to pi r squared h. The surface area, as we mentioned before, is the total area that the surface of the figure covers. This might be easier to see if we open the cylinder up and look at its net. The area of the two circular bases is the 2 pi r squared part of the surface area formula. Once the cylinder is open, we can see the curved part of the cylinder is really a rectangle, and the side lengths of the rectangle are determined by the circumference of the circular base, 2 pi r, and the height of the cylinder, h. So the surface area of a cylinder is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. Let's look at an example. What is the volume and surface area of a cylinder where the diameter of the base is 18 millimeters and the height of the cylinder is 20 millimeters? Leave your answer in terms of pi. To find the volume and surface area, we need the radius and height of the cylinder. Since the radius is half the diameter, we can divide 18 by 2 and see that the radius of the circular base is 9 millimeters. We can substitute the values into the formulas and evaluate. So the volume of the cylinder, remember, is equal to pi r squared h. Since our radius is 9 and our height is 20, we plug those values in and get 1,620 pi cubic millimeters. For the surface area, our formula is 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. Remember, we're going to plug in the radius of 9 and the height of 20, and we'll end up with an answer of 522 pi square millimeters. Let's look at another example. The surface area of a cylinder is 502.4 square feet, and the radius of the base is 5 feet. What is the height of the cylinder? Use 3.14 for pi. We will start by substituting the values we know into the surface area formula. As you can see, there is only one unknown h, so we will use our algebra skills to solve for the unknown. So we have 502.4 is equal to 2 times 3.14 times 5 times h plus 2 times 3.14 times 5 squared. This is what we get when we plug in all of the information that we were given. Now we're going to simplify each term. We'll get 502.4 is equal to 31.4h plus 157. Now we're going to isolate the term with the variable and combine like terms. So we're going to subtract 157 from both sides of the equation, and then we'll get 345.4 is equal to 31.4h. Finally, we divide both sides by the coefficient to isolate our variable h. So divide both sides by 31.4 to get that h is equal to 11. Therefore, the height of the cylinder is 11 feet. Let's look at an example you might see in everyday life. Joan has a water tank at her shop that is 34.8 inches high, and the diameter of the circular base is 20.6 inches. She wants to get a label made for the side of the tank with her business logo and needs to calculate the lateral area, which is the surface area without the area of the bases. What is the area of the label? Use 3.14 for pi. Since we only need the lateral area, we can remove the area of the circles from the formula. So our lateral area is just going to be equal to 2 pi rh. Remember, the formula asks for the radius of the base. So to get it, we will divide 20.6 by 2 to get 10.3, which is the length of the radius. So now if we plug all our values into our formula, we'll have that the lateral area is equal to 2 times 3.14 times 10.3 times 34.8, which is equal to 2,251 square inches. Therefore, the area of the label is 2,251 square inches. I hope that this video on the volume and surface area of a cylinder was helpful. Thanks for watching and happy studying!